Folks, last week I did a presentation on the first of our diet phases. It's not in any particular order, but the first of our diet phases was the disease reversal phase. This week, I'm going to talk a little bit about the reverse diet phase. The reverse diet phase is often the missing piece in a successful long-term health plan, and I think it's the phase that we're sort of learning the most about over the last couple of years. And I think it's probably the one that will be applied most effectively for most people. And we'll talk about why that is and what that means. The 4 phases of dieting, we talked about disease reversal, reversing that insulin resistance for people that are insulin resistant. How can you tell if you're insulin resistant? Do you have a weight gain, particularly around your belly, high blood pressure, high glucose, pre-diabetes, diabetes, anything like that? You're insulin resistant and you're a candidate for disease reversal. Reverse diet is really a phase where it's almost like muscle building or just taking care of your lean mass. So like your bones, if you're if you're aging and you've been told you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, we want to build your lean mass. So basically anything on your body that's not fat. Guess what? That also kind of includes your brain. Later, we'll talk about your diet phase and then kind of a recovery phase. Many of you have seen this graph before. If you want to lose weight, it is true that you have to eat fewer calories than your body is burning. The problem is, for most people, we're a diet culture. We're chronically dieting, so we're almost always trying to cut our calories. Most people spend a good majority of their life trying to cut calories, trying to lose weight. The first step we have all of our potential clients undergo is we have them take just like a week food recall. Just show me what you're eating. And very, very often we see people eating as low as, most people are eating less than 1,500 calories. We see people eating as low as 1,000 calories. So the problem is if you're eating 1,000 calories or 1,300 calories, you've got to eat fewer calories than your body is burning to lose weight. Well, you can't really go much lower than 1,200 calories without your body feeling really terrible. Your body has all sorts of ways that it can conserve energy. And you think of conserving energy as a good thing, but conserving energy isn't a good thing if it conserves energy by taking away energy from your brain, or taking away energy from digesting your food, or taking away energy from synthesizing your sex and mood hormones. If you don't have enough fuel, why is your body going to let you have post-workout endorphins? It's just going to cut off the things that aren't just necessary for you to survive. So most people are chronically eating a low amount of calories. Most people think that if they are overweight, they need to eat less food. Sometimes actually we need to build most of the time, we need to build a better metabolism on you that can handle eating more food before you're going to lose weight. Now, this can sound really scary if you're someone that has a 50-pound weight loss goal or a 100-pound weight loss goal, and I'm telling you need to eat more food. But most people's body has a minimum threshold where it's going to be happy at. This can be estimated at a number of different ways. Most people have seen, who've worked with us, see what we call the Harris-Benedict equation. It's basically like if it takes your demographic. So I'm a 25-year-old guy. I weigh 175 pounds and I work out 3 to 5 days a week. So based off of that, how much energy does my body need just to live a normal, healthy, happy life? You're going to find my baseline is something like 2,500 calories. That means if I'm chronically eating 1,500 calories, I'm going to survive. I'm not going to die, but my body's just going to make less muscle. And I'm going to carry around less muscle. It's going to not spend much energy on building strong bones. So if I'm eating 1,500 calories and say I want to lose a little bit of fat too, well, the first thing I'm going to need to do is build to just like that normal, healthy maintenance level. That's something like 2,400 calories. As we build to that point, I'm going to actually, like most of our people, you actually start to feel a lot better. Your energy improves. A lot of times people's digestion improves, brain function improves. Basically, if you're chronically underfed, you're not going to live your best life. And a lot of times we want to establish kind of a rhythm of freedom and just you eating enough really good food to live well and to have energy. similar to the list I gave you to tell like, are you insulin resistant? Here's a list that I'll give you for like, are you a candidate for reverse dieting? Sorry, going through each of these phases. Do you have a little bit of weight gain around your belly? Do you put on 4 pounds and you go on vacation because you finally eat a lot of food like just one time in the year? Your metabolism just can't handle more food. Do you have low energy? Do you feel lethargic? Is your mood struggling? All those kinds of things. You're probably a really good candidate for reverse dieting. Over the last 50 clients I've worked with, I have one gentleman who didn't really need to be reverse dieted. I reverse dieted him anyways because it raised his threshold for how much fat he can lose when he goes into a diet phase. So these phases, again, work together, but a reverse diet phase, think of it as like preparation and rebuilding your metabolism to have a successful diet phase. So again, yeah, who's a good candidate? Someone who's just dieted. If you've lost a lot of weight, you can't just lose weight indefinitely. Like say you have a 100-pound weight loss goal. Most people think, they actually don't believe this, but they think like, hey, if I just get healthy, I'll lose weight till I get to my goal weight. Actually, if your body's lost 25 pounds, your metabolism slows down. And at some point, even if you do perfectly healthy behaviors, you're not going to be able to lose weight anymore. So after you've lost a lot of weight, we need to reverse diet you. If you're, like I've said, you have chronically low calorie intake, definitely below 1,500, but oftentimes I see 1,000 to 1,200 calories. You've got to reverse diet. And then if you've had like a long weight loss stall, like if you've done healthy behaviors and you can't lose weight anymore and you're scratching your head, you're like, man, maybe I've slipped in a bagel, but I've been working hard and you can't lose weight. It's not your fault. You just need a better strategy to work on your metabolism. So how do we do this? The first step for most reverse diets, we're going to increase your protein. This is a time of building your lean mass. So muscle, brain, skin, bones, and protein, dietary protein is going to be the time for that. If you've been on a ketogenic intervention or a ketogenic diet, or you've eaten low carb for a long time, this is often a good time to increase carbohydrates. If it's time to reintroduce those to your life, this is when we would do that. We're increasing protein and carbs, which go to your muscles and build your muscles. This is also a good time to increase strength training. So you do a little bit heavier workouts. You can actually spend less time in the gym, but lifting heavier, kind of breaking down your muscles to be rebuilt in the context of more protein and more carbs to fuel your muscles. How long does reverse diet last? Hey, this can be sort of a jarring or a jolt to reality. Sometimes a reverse diet can last a really long time. If you have chronically been dieting, if you've yo-yo dieted a lot in the past, if you're not eating many calories at all, especially if you're over the age of 50, this reverse diet can take a long time. That's the bad news. The good news is during the reverse diet, oftentimes, especially until the very end of the reverse diet, you should begin to feel a lot better. Your mood and sex hormones are going to have more fuel to basically to synthesize them. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more like just moving throughout the day. You're going to have more energy to go exercise. And you can really improve your body composition even if you never lose a pound. Interestingly, though, sometimes people do lose weight during a reverse diet just because they're jump starting their metabolism. But anyways, sometimes someone comes in and they've got a relatively high calorie intake, and I can say, hey, let's just reverse diet you for a couple weeks here, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, so that you're going to have more of a successful fat loss phase. And then sometimes it's like, hey, this is going to take 4 to 5 months, maybe more. That would be extreme to go more than that. But sometimes it really will take a long time. If your only goal is weight loss, that could be really, really hard to hear. If your goal is health and feeling better and living a better life, most people learn to love the reverse diet. Here's the thing. The reverse diet is essential for long-term sustained weight loss. We mentioned the stat earlier. I think I'm going to mention it again, but 90% of people regain the weight that they lose. It's because after their diet phase, they didn't appropriately rebuild their metabolism that was going to be able to maintain that weight loss. So what are signs of a successful reverse diet? Biofeedback, that's a fancy word for mood, stress, energy level, your gut health, and even sleep to some extent. Those things should improve as you fuel your body better. Your body composition, like I said, if you do strength training, we increase your protein. Even if you don't lose a pound, your body composition is going to improve, meaning you're going to be a higher percentage muscle and a lower percentage fat. Your clothes should fit differently in this phase. I've had a lot of people tell me, man, all my friends tell me I'm losing weight, but I haven't lost a pound. Or all my friends tell me I'm losing weight or I look better, or like, hey, how much weight have you lost? Like, I put on 4 pounds, but their body looks very, very different. This is one of the reasons we have all of our clients take photos of themselves and of their body, because sometimes you can get discouraged in a reverse diet if the only thing you're looking at is weight. But if you've got the feedback of seeing how your clothes fit differently and feeling a little bit more muscular and being able to confirm that, you're not going to be discouraged. Also, signs of success, your weight should stay the same, or sometimes you actually want to see a slight increase. And because a lot of times we want to see a little increase in muscle, but that also shows that we really are kind of pushing the threshold of where your metabolism is. But don't worry, I'm not going to let you put on 10 to 15 pounds of fat or 5 pounds of fat in a reverse diet. We're going to have this under control, and we're going to watch you every week. Okay, what are the warning signs of a reverse diet? When is it that maybe we're not doing a reverse diet well? Well, there's little improvement in biofeedback. If at the beginning, especially of a reverse diet, you're not feeling better, we need to kind of troubleshoot it and kind of maybe adjust some things. If you're hungry in a reverse diet, we're probably not moving fast enough. You actually shouldn't really be that hungry in a reverse diet because we're refueling your body. Also, if you go on a reverse diet and you've increased your calories a lot, and then maybe you have 1 week where your calories go way down and it doesn't really matter what you do, your weight stays exactly the same, that could be an indication that your metabolism is just sort of freaking out and it's just not going to respond because it doesn't know if it's going to have enough fuel for the long term. And then if you have a very fast increase in weight, we can kind of bump that down and slow down your reverse diet. Okay, what happens if we skip reverse dieting? I kind of mentioned this earlier, but 90% of people who lose a lot of weight eventually regain just about all of it. If you skip the reverse diet, you are at extreme risk of putting on the same weight that you just lost, or even more sometimes. Why is that? It's because as you lose weight, your metabolism slows down. And if you have, say you weigh 200 pounds, you want to get down to 150 pounds, at 200 pounds, your metabolism is running at, like 2,000 calories a day. At 150 pounds, your metabolism is running at like 1,000 calories a day. Well, now you're at risk if you eat more than 1,000 calories of really putting that weight back on. Oftentimes too, if you're just chronically dieting and you never have a phase that's intentionally dedicated to building lean and muscle mass, building muscle is a skill that most people aren't good at. And if you never focus on it, you are going to lose your muscle. Losing muscle is just about the most metabolically damaging thing you can do to your body in terms of handling glucose, in terms of the speed of your metabolism, in terms of just movement in general. That's a really, really challenging thing. And then honestly, you're likely to be worse off than when you started. I work with so many people that say, I started doing healthy behaviors. I went low carb. I lost 55 pounds. And then I put 65 pounds back on. Can you help me? And I am here to help, but that is such a challenge because very, very often that history of yo-yo dieting has slowed down their metabolism. It's taken away some of their lean and muscle mass. And it's going to make it that they've got to do a longer reverse diet to rebuild before we can do another 55 pounds of weight loss. So the next phase is the fat loss phase. Look, there's a lot of questions left with the reverse diet phase. You're going to have to kind of go through and it's going to take several weeks or months for you to figure this out for yourself with me or with your coach. But I want to encourage you that this is sort of a thing that you've probably never done before. And if you are one of those people sitting and scratching your head saying, I've done everything Weight Watchers told me to do. I've followed the guidelines. I've worked out 4 to 5 times a week and I still don't have the body I want. It might be because you had a strategy that omitted one of the most important parts. And if we can help work you through this, and if you can find joy in the fact that you're actually rebuilding, you're able to eat good food, you're actually building muscle and feeling better. If you can learn to love that, you're going to have a really, really great result. And we hope to make an argument to you and support you, and that this is a really, really important thing that is going to allow you to see the long-term results that most people don't see. Here's your homework. If you're working with us, or if you're not working with us, either look at the first week recall I ever had you do and look at where your calories were. If you're not working with us or you're considering working with us, take a week in a tracker like MyFitnessPal or Carb Manager, track the food that you're eating and see how many calories you're eating. See how many grams of protein you're eating. If your protein's under 100 grams, if your calories are under 1,500, or if they were, look at what your path was. For most of you, your first step was to reverse diet. And if you are currently with protein under 100 grams and you're currently very, very low calorie, just look at the path that we've written out for you. And I hope you understand why we're doing this. And if you don't, let me know. Let's work through it. Thanks for y'all's time. Talk to you very, very soon.